In this video, I want to talk about the power of branding when publishing books on Amazon KDP and how you can use it to your advantage to increase your sales. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to join me here today. Something has changed over the years when it comes to publishing books on Amazon KDP, and in this case, I'm talking specifically about low content books. A few years ago, when low content book publishing started to get really popular, the way that most people did it was that they published thousands of different kinds of books across different niches. And the idea was all about quantity, and that the more books that you published, the more chance you had of one or a few of them actually selling. So you might see some people who have been publishing books for a little while say that they might have 2,000 or 3,000 books published on KDP. But the reality is that out of those 2,000 or 3,000 books, there's probably only about 10% of them, maybe even less, that actually sell. But times have changed. And while you probably still could do that method, quantity over quality, so go out and mass publish books and hope that eventually something works, and at some point you will publish enough books to get some of them to sell. You can still go that route if that's what you want to do with your publishing business. But if you're wanting to see results that are much more substantial, much more predictable and stable, then there is another way to go about it. And that's by leveraging branding and series. I talk about branding and series a lot in my videos, and this isn't something new or something that is only exclusive to low content book publishing. In fact, low content books have been quite slow in the uptake of this method. High content books like fiction books have known for a long time that one of the best way to see results, really solid results in the fastest time possible, is by creating a brand, and putting books in a series is the best way to go. This has been going on for years. Think the Dr. Seuss books, think the Little Miss and Little Mister series of books. It's why you see so many books from Stephen King, Danielle Steele, J.K. Rowling. Now, of course, those are pretty extreme examples of some extremely successful authors, but the principles are the same regardless if you're established or new. There is a reason why these people are doing this. And in my opinion, learning from those who are already successful is one of the best things that you can do. For this video, we're going to go over what it takes to make a successful brand, and we'll also have a look at some of the popular self-published brands and series on Amazon KDP to see what it is that they have done to become so successful. Let's take a look at the first brand of books that I want to look at in this video. The first is a series of children's picture books self-published by Alicia Ortego. You can see that these books are self-published when we open up one of them, and if we scroll down here to the information, product details, it says independently published. That means it is published through Amazon KDP, and we can look and find out to see if a book is part of a series up here. So if we have a little link down here saying book one of however many, you can see that this book is part of a series. And if we just click that link, it'll take us to all the books in this series. There's 9 books in this series, and the books are children's stories with a focus on teaching kids morals and values. I have shown this series in one of my previous videos, so these books might look familiar to you if you have seen that video. One of her most popular books is this one here, Kindness is My Superpower, a massive amount of reviews and ratings. If we just scroll down and take a look at the BSR, a BSR is the bestseller rank, which for anyone who is unfamiliar with publishing on KDP or on Amazon, the bestseller rank is a number that determines the popularity of a product in the Amazon store. So down here, this book is currently ranked 1,717 out of all the millions of books on Amazon. So that's an amazing bestseller rank. To give you an idea of how much sales this book would be making relative to that bestseller rank, if we pop over to a calculator, it estimates that this book could be selling around 1,489 copies per month. So that is a lot of books to be selling every single month. And if you're interested in how that translates over into royalties, royalties being how much this publisher gets every time a book sells, we can just use the KDP royalty calculator. We just pop in the page count, 38 pages. This one is a color, and it was 8.5 by 8.5, selling for $11.68. So that means every time this book sells, the publisher receives $2.81 royalty. A $2.81 royalty times 1,489 books means that that specific book could be making over $4,100 per month in royalties. If we look at the second book in the series, this one has a bestseller rank of 16,539. We've got Gratitude is My Superpower with a bestseller rank of 1,000. So that's an even better bestseller rank. Bestseller rank of 1,080 would be selling over 2,000 books per month. So you can see how well this series is doing. And the way that this publisher has branded these books is through the use of the My Superpower title, as well as using familiar fonts, colors, and illustrations in the book. So you can easily see that these books all belong to the same publisher or the same author. And this is such an important part of branding, familiarizing your customers with your books and with your styles, because if they like one of your books, they are most likely going to like the rest. If they are all cohesive with the types of stories, the themes, the characters used within the books, and even the fonts and colors that you use. For example, if a customer likes this one book teaching kids about kindness, they are probably going to like this book teaching about acceptance. You want a customer to be able to easily pick your book out from all the others on Amazon when they're looking at a sales results page or something like that. You want them to be able to easily notice yours because they have become familiar with your brand and with your books. Another brand I want to look at is this one called Modern Kid Press, who publishes kids' educational activity books. They have a very popular range of books aimed at kindergarten-aged kids, from scissor skills to maths to learning how to write. One of their most popular books is this one here, Kindergarten Math. Over 15,400 ratings, currently sitting with a bestseller rank of 1,133. So one of the better selling books on Amazon, especially for being a low content book. And you can see that the interiors of these books, they're fairly simple because they are aimed at such young kids. You don't want the pages too cluttered. You don't want a lot of text on the page. Kindy age kids, they like images. They like big, easy to see and easy to understand pictures, words, numbers, and things like that. And another one of their popular books is their preschool math. So another workbook just for a little bit of a different aged child. And another great bestseller rank, 3,887 currently. And if you've noticed the dates of the books that I've looked at so far, these have been going for a few years. So, building a brand isn't something that happens overnight. It does take time, and it's something that you have to build up over time as you publish more books. And this publisher actually has branded a couple of different styles under their brand of Modern Kid Press. So what they have done is they've created a set of books targeting one age of kids. So kindergarten age kids, or that pre-primary age kids. So maybe around 3 to 6. And you can easily tell which books those ones are. They're the ones with these nice, bright, colorful covers with images with big fun fonts on them. And then they have this second style of books targeting teenagers. These covers are a lot less bright, a lot less colorful and fun, a little bit more serious. A bit more appealing to someone older, like a teenager. So there's the cursive handwriting book for teens, the print handwriting workbook for teens. But what this brand has done, which is very important and you should want to do too, is to establish yourself as an expert in a particular type of book or in a particular subject, so that customers know that they can keep coming back to you for a specific type of book. You want to pick one type of book, one subject, or one age group, and focus only on that and build up a series of books and a brand around that one thing. And I'm not saying that you can't ever create other books or you can't move into a different niche or a different type of book. Yes, you can, but work on building up one series, one brand first, and then move on to something else. And if you can keep them closely related, that would be a big advantage too, like this brand, Modern Kid Press. They started with books aimed at kindy-aged kids and then expanded into books for older kids and teens, but kept them all within that same niche of the educational activity book niche. The next brand of books I came across is this one, which are Learn How to Draw books. These aren't the only type of books this publisher has, but you can really see the strong branding across these specific ones that are all about how to learn how to draw. So she obviously tried a few book styles before landing on this one that really worked for her, from the kinds of things that the books teach how to draw, to the way that the covers are designed, to the way the instructions inside the book are laid out. And all of them are learn how to draw 101 things. When we look inside this one, it's showing that there's 100 different characters in various shapes and poses, and it gives an example of the way that the instructions are laid out to show the child how they can learn how to draw that particular image. So it's easy step-by-step drawing, and it's even sort of bringing in the educational element into it about developing drawing skills, raising confidence in kids. So the bestseller rank on this one, 211. What an amazing bestseller rank. Let's take a look at how many books they could be selling every month with that bestseller rank. So 6,185 books a month for this specific how to draw book. So this has to be one of her most popular books, published a couple years ago. So as we can see, it does take time. It takes a couple of years for these things to build up. And I'm interested to see the royalties on this book. It looks like prices have been raised in alignment with the increase in printing costs and things like that from Amazon a few months ago. So let's take a look at a paperback that is 8.5 by 11, 109 pages, selling for $9.86. So a royalty of $3.08. What a great royalty. So it just goes to show that you don't have to have the cheapest book. You don't have to have the cheapest pricing. If you want to get a decent royalty, put the price of your book as high as you want it to be within reason. And you can see that it hasn't affected sales on this book. So let's have a look at a $3.08 royalty, timesing that by 6,185 books. Wow, over $19,000 a month that publisher could be creating for herself from just that one book. But remember, it's part of a series of other books that are also doing really well. 101 cute stuff, a bestseller rank of 225. So her second book with just as an incredible bestseller rank. 101 cute animals, 847. What an amazing brand. Good for her. I'm always so happy when I come across these brands that are just doing so well. This kind of strong branding just creates so much trust with your customers, and that is the ultimate goal. You want your branding to firstly evoke some sort of emotion in the customer that ultimately leads them to eventually purchase your book. Then when they get your book and it's what they expected, you delivered what you promised the book would deliver. It teaches their kids something in this case. They trust that you know what you're doing. They trust you enough to buy more books from you and go back to Amazon and leave positive reviews and recommend to other people to buy your books as well. Something that I always say when I talk about branding, when I talk about series in my videos, is that it is so much easier to sell something to a customer who already knows your brand, who already loves your brand and loves your books, than it is to sell to a completely new customer who has never heard of you, never seen your books or experienced your books before. Then with cohesive styles and themes of your book, i.e. the fonts you use, the colors you use, for example, like in the How to Draw books, it's all these nice pastel colors. Even the characters that you use in your book are so much more easily recognizable the next time the customer is on Amazon searching for another Learn How to Draw book or another math activity book. When they see your book in the search results, they are going to be automatically drawn to it because they are already familiar with your books. They know that the first book they bought was great, and so people like to stick with what they know and go back to buy other books in your brand or in your series. Branding is just so important, and creating a series under a brand can really help you see a different level of success than you would from just publishing random different books across a bunch of totally unrelated niches. Hopefully you are able to see the power of branding after taking a look at some of these really successful brands and books on Amazon KDP. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.